at the center of trade between the East and the West, strategically positioned in the global maritime trade route, is Sri Lanka, where the largest development projects are taking place in this island nation. And at the edge of the commercial capital, Colombo is a new city in the making, a city built on sand, a city that is positioned to be one of the most vibrant and magnificent developments of the 21st century. Port City, Colombo. With a shared vision, on the 17th of September 2014, this flagship project under China's ambitious One Belt, One Road initiative was inaugurated in the presence of heads of state of both Sri Lanka and China. 16th January 2019, the new land of 216 hectares created by filling of 65 million cubic meters of sea sand was integrated to the city of Colombo, along with the breakwater certified by renowned local and international engineering consultants. December 2019, a first day cover and a commemorative stamp was issued to mark the addition of the newly reclaimed land to mainland Colombo as part of Sri Lanka at a spectacular display of fireworks. On January 13, 2020, the company launched the first social responsibility report covering the period between September 2014 and November 2019. Recently, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa visited the project as Port City Colombo celebrated its 6th year anniversary on the 17th of September 2020. Here I am at the multi-billion US dollar Colombo Port City project. Quite excited to be here.
Welcome to Port City Colombo, Indeewari.
Aiboan. Keeping with all social distancing and safety precautions.
Yes. So this is our starting point at today's journey. This is Mr. Kosala, our HSC manager.
Aiboan, thank you for inviting me here.
So we'll start the proceedings from here.
Yeah. Certainly. Thank you.
Okay. You already understand in Sri Lanka we had the COVID-19 epidemic period. So we have a number of safety precautions. Any person who is entering into the site, the first one is the body temperature check. The hand sanitization, and
thank you.
A person who is entering need to wear the mask.
You do have 1,600 employees, a workforce as that big, but during the time of the pandemic, how did construction work continue? Did you have to halt the project, or did you have other courses?
Continuously we run the project. I think it's the only one project we run in Sri Lanka during this period. When the first epidemic scenario came, near about 1,000 people left, our local employees.
Right.
Only 300 Chinese and 230 Sri Lankans who remain here. We have a 17 work location, but we managed to continue 7 work locations. So continuously we progress with the number of activities. The government has given general guidelines which we need to apply restarting the business.
Right.
And out of that, 20 is which is exactly relevant to us. And actually we went one step forward. We built a one accommodation, temporary accommodation. All the people who are returning, they directed to this accommodation. When the employees return, on the second day we did the first PCR, and the 6th day we did the second PCR. When we get the clearance, then only the people went inside.
So I believe I'll have to go through your entire health and safety precautionary measures and the stringent framework that you have here.
We are going to the construction site, get under the requirement. You have to wear this.
Why is this necessary?
It's there. We are going to the construction site. So the one is the helmet will give you the heat protection.
Okay.
As well as falling something.
Right.
The high visibility jacket for the better visibility in the site.
I see. 4 billion US dollar investment by the mother company, with 15 billion US dollars of FDI expected to be attracted to the Colombo port city. Of course, this project is expected to generate 11.8 billion US dollars per annum to the Sri Lankan economy. Massive development, aggressive planning. Let's find out what's happening inside. At the site office, safety measures in place for COVID-19 are repeated, ensuring the highest standards of prevention of the pandemic. Who is the MEP manager. Before we speak further, I think we could take the masks off, only for video purposes, of course. But, you're returning to work post the lockdown period, and it must be a new experience too, but returning to your work site, to your workplace.
During the COVID period, we work from home. All the design reviews has done using online facility. Addition to that, we have used the online facility to coordinate with the authorities, consultant and contractor. No much impact on our work due to the COVID period. We have reduced number of staff working at site office, remaining staff working from home. This is to comply with the safety regulations.
I read that Port City's Phase 1 infrastructure development phase is expected to be completed by 2021. Is this realistic?
Yes, it is realistic. Phase 1 infrastructure works are in progress as per the program, and we are planning to finish the infrastructure works by second half of 2021. Initially, we have done the master plan for the Port City project that indicate type of development, usage and built up area for each block. We have calculated the utility requirement based on the master plan, and we have designed the infrastructure network to suit the utility requirement. All the services connections such as water supply, power supply, wastewater, stormwater, we kept the provision inside the plot, each plot, for future connection. This project is properly planned from the initial stage.
On to where work actually happens, where there is tangible development. I took to the project site first to look at how connectivity to the new city will be ensured. This is believed to be the longest utility tunnel in Sri Lanka, being built underground for seamless connectivity, a first of its kind here in Sri Lanka.
In here, two types of utility tunnels we have. One is the single hollows and double hollows. So we are standing on the double hollows. You can see this one. These hollows normally we are using the wet purpose. One is the that the irrigation potable line is going on. You can see that blue color one.
Right.
And the single one is totally dry. So in that single tunnel, we are going to run through the optical cables and low power cables, power supply cables, all things will be run.
So what if there is some service or some kind of maintenance work
Yes.
that is required? Will you be drilling the road network?
No
in
need to
Colombo?
do that one. The roads will be come between the single line and the double hollows
What is this
utility.
going to be? This is just going to be a pathway? Or?
Yes, this is going to be the pathway.
Okay. Well, how does it feel for you to work during this time?
Personally, I'm happy to work here because of the thing is this is the first time we are doing Sri Lanka, the mega project, and this kind of the utilities and pre-planned project is the first time. So I'm excited to work
So
here.
you're learning from the
Yes,
project?
that's right. I'm learning and I'm getting more experience on this one because this kind of pre-planned one in the foreign countries. So we have to go and get experience from the foreign. But in our Sri Lanka, we are getting here. So it will be more benefit, more. Personally, I have a more experienced one.
Not only Port City Colombo can vouch for its vibrant future, but also to the growth and international level experience given for every employee. A city that offers a remarkable experience even in the making.
Basically, after the COVID, the resources are very limited. Manpower is also limited, and we have laborers working inside, residing workers. So we have segmented the works, and we have divided into groups, and we have checked the critical works, and we have put the people in place to complete those critical works. For example, we put one set of people for external works of tunnel, and some set of people for internal works. Like that, we're trying to reach the target by segregating the people into works. Yeah. I am seeing the biggest potable pipeline is going through this tunnel. That is 710 diameter of pipe. Even the Sri Lanka water board doesn't have. That is the biggest pipeline network which we are working through inside the tunnel.
At a completely different setting, bringing greenery to the new city, the Central Park, one of the 5 precincts of Port City Colombo, will be 5 times the size of Golface Green. The good news is that the green lung of the Central Business District will be open for public use.
There's a lot of green around us. Almost 600 plants have been planted from school.
Here we doing our experimental works, and we are going to produce some quality trees for the phase 2. We hope to introduce approximately 200 species and nearly 57 tree species here.
So is this like a nursery to
Yes, exactly.
experiment with new trees? What kind of species do you have here?
There are many species like Barringtonia asiatica, Delonix regia, and you know that coconut, we call it Cocos nucifera. So those species actually we are doing some trials whether they are surviving with the existing climate and how they are growing patterns.
Tell me about the challenges you face, especially the windy conditions. The soil is not something that most of these plants are normally used to.
Of course, it's a challenge because all the things are new. Here this is the reclaimed land, and most of the soil will be the sand. But we know that there are some species which are tolerant to this sea breeze condition and which are growing in the coastal area. Other than that, that's why earlier I told you 200 species we hope to introduce to this project, and we are going to design with that species. Most of them are trees. If our green concept will go with the indigenous species, that will be a very nice design.
While the project company envisions greenery to the new city built on sand, contractors strive around the clock to ensure sustainability of the indigenous plant species introduced to the land.
We are main contractor of this landscape company, but we maintain our planting works and all maintenance works in the COVID-19 situation also.
So as you came back to work, as maintenance was ongoing, what does it feel for you personally to be here while there's a lockdown, while other construction sites may have been closed down, but your family is at home, but you're here maintaining these trees and the greenery?
Yes. Actually, I'm working in Port City. It's my grateful because this is largest project in Sri Lanka. I like to work and I like to work to my country. That's why I'm trying to do my best.
How will the new city ensure vehicular traffic and pedestrian movement? Contractors tell me that work on the 9 bridges, 4 for vehicular traffic and 5 for pedestrian movement, have been expedited. My next stop is to see the progress there.
This is the footpath linking the Golface Green to the public beach here at the Port City Colombo. On to my south is Colombo mainland. To my east we see the Lotus Tower. To my west, of course, we see the rest of the project and the Marina district as well as island living. All this is visible here, and this will be a connecting footpath for the people from the mainland to the Port City. I think you'd like to tell me a little more of this. This is actually an interesting juncture here. The view is amazing, waterways from the sea. I also see that there are some artificial water streams
Yes.
that are being.
This is the artificial canal,
Okay.
and across the artificial canal we have 9 bridges. That 4 vehicle bridges and 5 pedestrian bridges. So we are standing on the pedestrian bridge 1. Then this,
The water streams and the public beach that's coming up.
yeah. So you can see that there's a breakwater system. So breakwater system to public beach will have we know in waves, so we can swim also. Then the navigation line also is here. So clear path of the navigation is almost 5 meters in a high tide level.
That's swimming safe, I believe.
Yes.
It is.
Yes. No any waves.
Okay.
Like
and this will be the connection for the people from that
Yes.
end to this end.
Yeah.
Amazing. How is it possible for this land to
Yeah.
bear all that? I mean, so much of such intensity, such weight, so much
Yeah.
of vehicles.
That's what I already said. This pre-planned city.
Yes, a pre-planned city built on sustainable values, a healthy environment with future-ready infrastructure offering unmatched living convenience in the midst of the Indian Ocean. Yet another landmark to beautify the new city is an iconic addition of architecture, a steel bridge that will be visible from the driveways of Galle Road, Colombo.
This is a steel bridge. The most important thing is this is we are joint that segments only welded.
Okay.
Not any we are not using nut and bolts or any other materials. We have 13 numbers of segments and 11 numbers of deck segments.
Right.
All of the segments in fixing only welding, and the only one of the bridge in Sri Lankan that deck segment like an arch, not straight.
I thought of heading towards the sales gallery, where I would be certain of what's possible among these projections. How viable is this project? Is it really investor friendly? Maybe I'd find out more facts at the sales gallery.
Aiboan.
Welcome to Port City Colombo.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting. A world-class city in the making, a city of the future, you say?
Of course, and you are in Sales Gallery, which is built for prospective investors and public as well as journalists like you. So hope you had a good time inside Port City too.
I did. That was an amazing view. But I'd like to take a look at a snapshot of the model city that you plan to have here.
Then you are in the right place.
Wonderful.
So why don't we start the journey?
Certainly.
So we have this pavilion area, which we showcase our historical values, like in the trade industry. We are not a novice country for international trade, so we have been in the maritime silk route in the ancient past as well. So if you can see these exhibits we are showing, where we have located and how important our location is, and some of the numbers that any investor or any potential buyer would want to invest in Port City. We have all the numbers to impress them, because we already, Sri Lanka, I mean, whether it is economic numbers or individuals, talent, skills, anything, or even the UNESCO World Heritage List. We have 8 World Heritage sites in Sri Lanka. So all these things we here present to prospective investors. So here this is the vision tunnel. I will take you through.
Wonderful.
After that, it's our model area. So Indeewari, this is how the port city is going to look like when it completed in 25 years' time.
The Central Business District, an extension to the Colombo city, focuses on attracting investors in healthcare, education, entertainment, hotels and restaurants, retail and A-grade office spaces with an integrated resort and a marina. offering the best in living experience.
What could be the socio-economic and environmental impact of this 1.5 billion US dollar investment to see a world-class city being built on the sea?
Although it is the project vision to be the benchmark in environmental friendliness and sustainability, wouldn't there be an impact on the environment by a city built on the reclaimed land? I thought of speaking to an expert on this matter.
For the creation of this land, they used 65 million meter cubes of sand taken from the sea. And for the protection device, that is the breakwater, 3.5 million meter cubes of rock material were used. And extraction of those natural resources has linked with some environmental concerns and the social concerns. To address those environmental and social concerns, they carried out the environmental impact assessment to identify the environmental problems and to propose mitigation action. And that's again part of the law of this country. They have to follow the laws of this country, the National Environmental Act and the Coast Conservation and Coastal Resources Management Act of Sri Lanka. After addressing all the concerns of the people, after addressing the technicalities of the environmental impacts, the approval was granted with conditions. If that approval is linked with conditions, there were 72 conditions to adhere to by the project company. They then prepared the environmental management plan, how they are going to address those conditions, and approval obtained from the authorities, and they implemented those mitigation action to identify the environmental and social impacts of those vertical development, what we say. Another EIA was done. The EIA 2 also was open for public and got the comments from the general public and the technical people, and they prepared the environmental management plan. Now they are implementing those mitigation action. And in addition to that, this first time in Sri Lanka, development control regulations were done by this company. There are 4 volumes. One volume is purely on sustainability, giving guidelines for the developers what they should do, what they shouldn't do in terms of environment and sustainable management of this project.
While the economy expects to benefit via the positioning of Sri Lanka as a financial hub in the region by taking advantage of the strategic location, I also spoke to a member of think tank to find out what socio-economic impact lies ahead.
I believe that this project is going to begin with to position Sri Lanka as a hub, business hub, similar to what it is today, Dubai, Singapore and Hong Kong. Most probably in another, say, 15-20 years, Sri Lanka will be developed somewhat similar to one of those centers that I just mentioned. As you know, that International Financial Center, which is to be established within the Colombo Port City, and other mixed developments, all will bring together a facility which will ideally suited to attract further investment and businesses to Sri Lanka from around the world. Though the project is initially funded by the Chinese equity investment, initial investment, as you and we all know, about 1.4 billion US dollars, but over a period of 20 years, it is expected that it will attract more than 13 billion US dollars worth of investment from countries around the world, like from USA to India to Japan to all the countries. In that sense, this is a very unprecedented project even in the entire in the regional context.
Commitment to a sustainable development, attractive investor incentives, yet strictly governed by a development control regulation for the first time in the country, a blue-green concept, island living, elevated lifestyle, and above all, a shared vision to build a world-class city for the future.
A well-spent entire day at the Colombo Port City project, and this is Sri Lanka's port of dreams for a city of the future and a world-class one. A shared vision is connecting the world with a shared prosperity. This is the Colombo Port City, a city of the future.